Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 22 of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the Beginning. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune for What If Naruto was disowned by everyone. And over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was a godly mage, so stay in tune for that. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance. So stay tuned for that as well guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto, Anko, Kotetsu, and Izumo was on a mission. As they were guarding the daimyo, they were supposed to meet up with the Kumo team. As Karu knocked Amoy straight into Anko's table, dashing away her dongos as she almost killed Amoy. As Naruto gave her money to go buy some others, while he talked to the Kumo team. As he then saw a blonde girl came there with a rather large chest. It was Samui. As they met up the next day with the group, and Killer Bee was their sensei. As Killer Bee recognized Naruto, as Yujito was talking about him a lot, as Samui heard Yujito talk about him as well. They went on shift, protecting the daimyos, and the place was rather, well, boring. As Karu picked a fight with Naruto and she challenged him. As she quickly came to regret her decision, because she stood no chance against him. And after that, something strange happened. Well, Samui was talking to Naruto and told him that he was pretty cool. And then he spoke to Karu as well, as she apologized for, well, being so vulgar and angry at first. As she asked if she could spar with him some other time. As Naruto was taken aback by that, but he simply go along with it. For the rest of the time they enjoyed themselves talking, and he got to know that both Karu and Amoy, they were family. Well, judging from the way the both of them act, yeah, he could see that. As the mission went on, as it was time for them soon to go back home because the preparations were going on for some time now. As the group was attacked, as a man named Aoi, he was the one who stole the second Hokage's blade, the lightning blade, and left the village that day. As Naruto faced off against him, while Anko and the others faced off against his subordinates, which were pretty weak. As he stood no chance against Naruto, as Naruto knocked him around just for fun, before driving a Rasengan right into the man and taking back the blade. With that, the mission was over after a time, as Naruto gave Killer Bee a message to give to Yujito. As he said goodbye to the others, as they came back to Konoha, as Tsunade got the debriefing and let them off. Jiraiya then came in the room as both of them started to talk. Tsunade wanted Naruto to stay in the village because they had a lot of things to do and a lot of missions, but Jiraiya wanted to take Naruto on a training trip, as he wants to make Naruto stronger for the upcoming future. Tsunade agreed with him though, as she wanted the kid to stay safe after all. So yeah guys, that was basically the last we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? It was a peaceful day for one Yujito in Kumo, as she just gotten back from her A-rank mission and decided to sleep in today. As the window was open, as the sun was streaming in, as it was warming her up, as she was wearing a large t-shirt and her underwear underneath. As she stretched just like a cat, as she purred a bit before snuggling up into the bed even more. But her peaceful nap was interrupted. Hey little kitten, guess who just got back from their mission? She jumped out of her bed soon as she heard a loud, obnoxious rapping. B, what have I told you about coming in through my window, she said. I don't remember, he said, but that is not important at the moment. I have something for you. I think you'll like it because it's from... He couldn't get to finish that sentence. She punched him right through the window. God damn it, she said. I was enjoying my peaceful nap and she looked down, she saw the scroll. As she picked it up, noticing her name on the front, she opened it up and saw that it was a letter. Dear Yuji-chan. Hey, I bet you didn't expect to hear from me since we never got each other address or anything, huh? If you haven't figured out who this is yet, I'll give you a hint. It's the only other blonde Jinjulki besides you. Well, best of my knowledge. Anyways, I was on a joint mission with some Kumo ninjas, and that Killer Bee character was one of them. And yeah, you were right about the rapping, by the way. So I made this letter since you know where you live. As she smiled, she continued to read the letter, as it was just Naruto talking about that he got promoted to Chunin, and that he wished he could just skip rank and become Jonin just like her. As her smile widened when he said that he missed her, and he asked her how she was doing. At the bottom of this letter is something cool I was able to get from Erasengin. It's a reverse summoning seal array. Something that was used before summoning contracts were created. When you channel chakra into the seal, it will summon a messenger toad. That way you can deliver a message to me, and I'll be sure to get them. Pretty badass, right? I hope to hear from you soon. Uzumaki Naruto. As her smile widened even more, Naruto-kun, she thought. Quite the young man, you bad honk kitten, said Nibi. I know, she said as she went over as she grabbed a scroll and some ink. Meanwhile, as Naruto was currently lying down in his bed, the daimyo, who was grateful for Naruto saving him, gave Naruto a necklace as Aoi was after it, and many people was after it as well. It was a replica of Haku and the first Kage necklace as well, but it was deep blue. As Naruto wondered if these three necklaces hold some kind of connection, and if they did, what? As he lied down and closed his eyes, as he brought himself in his mindscape. Welcome back, Naruto-kun. The Kyuubi greeted you with a smile. You seem tired. Well, I'm tired of all these boring ass missions, he said. Life is getting too boring, I need something to spice it up. Though, this last mission wasn't bad. I got a hot date. I got to beat the shit out of some guy, and I got the bounty of the guy I beat the shit out of, and I got 2 swords. Which one of them belonged to the second Hokage? Yeah, this was a good mission, he said, as he never noticed her eyes narrowed when he said about the hot date. Oh, am I not excited enough for you, she asked. You know what I mean, said Naruto. The missions they have me doing, while kind of exciting, for the most part they're boring. This last mission was the excitingest one I had in a long time, and even then with Aoi guy, he was a real pansy. I can't believe someone as weak as him was able to wield that blade. He reminded me of that Mizuki person, said the Kyuubi. Chances are he got some poor, naive genin to steal it for him. Maybe he told them that they will become genin if he got the sword. You're so goddamn lucky I'm comfortable, said Naruto, and that you're the most powerful demon, because I would kick your ass for that remark, he said. Well, you're right about that, she said. I am the most powerful demon in existence, so there's really nothing you can do. Hey, I wanted to ask something, Naruto said. Do you have a name other than Kyuubi? As she looked at him oddly. Well, it just seemed like the Kyuubi is more of a title more than anything, not a real name. Well, I suppose it was my title and my name, she said. When I posed as humans, I went by many names. Thousands even. I do not remember all the names, she said. But I suppose if I was to have a name, it would be Kayatome, she said. The first name given to me by the people who raised me when I first came in a human form. Sentimental, huh, said Naruto. Don't be ridiculous, she said, a scoff. They were humans, I am not, and while they could be considered closest thing to the family I have, it still doesn't change any fact, she said. There is no point in being sentimental about things like that. They serve their purpose. But I do have a fondness for the name because it was my first. Would you like me to call you that, said Naruto. You can call me whatever you want. Personally, I don't really care about names. Those are something you humans give to each other. And the Kyuubi reflect who and exactly what I am, she said. I suppose Kyuubi-chan will do for now then, said Naruto. Whatever, she said. Several hours later, as Naruto got out of bed, going towards the knocking on his door. Does Bachan need me for something, Kuma-san, Naruto asked, looking at the Anfu. Yes, Hokage-sama wishes to speak to you about something, Kuma replied. Tell her I'll be there in a minute, I just need to get ready. The Anfu nodded before flashing away. Time skip. You called Bachan, Naruto said, as he ducked under a paperweight that sent his way. Snavy glared at him for the nickname. Yes, I did, brat. Or to be more accurate, he did. As Naruto looked over and saw the ears shimmer, Erasengin, Naruto said, So, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be peeping in the hot springs for your next book or something. Jiraiya crossed his arms. Still a disrespectful brat, I see. I called you here because I have some important information to deal with you. And I also have an offer to train you. Train me, said Naruto. That's right, kid. You remember what I told you about Akatsuki, right? Naruto nodded. It seems that they are still searching for the other Bijus and their hosts, and they will try to make another attempt on you. And since they already infiltrated Konoha once already, so this means there's a chance they will attack me in Konoha walls, Naruto asked. Yeah, said Jiraiya. Now because of my spy network, I can't stay in the village. If I'm going to train you, we need to leave the village for a certain amount of time. And how long is a certain amount of time? 3 years, said Tsunade. No, said Naruto. There is no way I'm leaving for 3 years. You can get that out of your head right now. Be reasonable, kid. I can't stay here to train you, but you need to be trained by someone who is strong enough to take on S-rank ninjas. The only people who are capable of that are myself and Tsunade, and you're no medical ninja. I'm not putting off my career for 3 years so you can go and gallivant with your perverted ass, Naruto, Naruto said as he crossed his arms. Your career will not be put on hold for this, Naruto, said Tsunade. You and Jiraiya will be doing missions outside the village to gain experience while he teaches you. Jiraiya is going to send me regular reports on your progress doing this mission. And if you do well enough, I will promote you to Jonin upon your return. What about my friends, Naruto asked. I'll be leaving for 3 years. I don't want to be away from them for that long. As the image of Tenten popped in his head when he said that. Jiraiya shrugged. Sometimes a ninja will be called away for a long time like this, kid. You can't be with them all the time. And you know how dangerous the Akatsuki is. What will happen if you go on a mission with a squad and the Akatsuki showed up for you? As Naruto winced at that, this is the best way to get stronger and the best way to protect your friends, Jiraiya said. Naruto closed his eyes. He really did not want to leave his friends, but he knew that he had to be stronger to defeat the Akatsuki. Hey Bichan, what do you think I should do, Naruto asked. If you leave, that means I can also teach you some of the more destructive techniques I cannot teach you here, she said. Naruto sighed. Fine, if I go with you, when will we leave? We'll leave tomorrow, said Jiraiya. Alright, Naruto said, I'll pack my things after I say goodbye to my friends. I'll see you tomorrow, Erosenin, Bachani said. As the two watched Naruto leave, Tsunade turned to Jiraiya. I hope you know what you're doing. Well, I know what I'm doing. And don't worry, I'll see you tomorrow, Jaime said. I have to get in some research, since I won't have enough time with the kid, with his training, you know? And with that he jumped through the window. Damn pervert, said Tsunade. Time skip, as Tenten just came off of a mission, and Guy gave them some time off. So she was currently flipping through her magazine, as she didn't really have nothing to do but to watch the shop. As she heard the door, hello, welcome to Higarashi. Oh, hello Naruto-kun, she said. Hey there Tenten-chan, he said. No mission today, he asked. Nope, she said. We just got back from one, and Guy Sensei gave us some time off to fan our flames of youth. She put up quotation marks when she said that. So what's up, she said. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, I just got back from a mission yesterday, Naruto said. Escort mission. And I got a little something for you, he says. He pulled out a scroll and handed it to her. As she unsealed it, as she gasped, but she saw the items. It was a set of silver kunai. The blades were curved and 3 inches longer than a standard kunai, as a Japanese-style dragon was on the side. The ring at the end was studded with rubies and other diamonds. Altogether, they were beautiful works of art, well, to someone like Tenten who loved weapons. As Tenten went around, as she grabbed Naruto and squeezed him with a tight hug. Tenten-chan can't breathe, Naruto said, as she was holding him rather tight, as she lifted a heap and dropped him, as Naruto fell down to the floor. I'm so sorry, she said. It's okay, said Naruto. I take it from that hug. Means you like gift, he says. He got back to his feet. Yes, she said. I love it. It's an amazing gift. Where did you get it, she asked. I got it on my mission to Tatsunokuni, he said. When I saw them, you were the first thing that popped up in my mind. As Tenten blushed a bit, I guess you know me too well. So, was that the only reason why you came here, she asked. To give me this beautiful present. Well, this was the part I was going to ask you if you want to catch a move with me. But I'm afraid I won't be able to do that. Why not, she said, confused. As Naruto sighed, because I'm going to be leaving on a training trip with Erosenin for 3 years. What? She said. I'm going to be leaving Konoha to train with Erosenin for 3 years. Because of a certain threat he has found out about, he wants to train me so I can get better. But he can't stay here and train me because of his spy network. So, you're leaving? Tenten said. Yeah, said Naruto, as he saw the look on Tenten's face. You know, this won't be the last time we see each other or anything. I'll be back in 3 years, he said. Yeah, I guess you're right, she said, putting on a fake smile. But inside she felt horrible about him leaving. You're going to keep in touch, at least, right? She asked. Of course, he said. You better. As she hugged him again, but it wasn't a dead grip like the last hug. I'm gonna miss you so much, she whispered. As he wrapped his arms around her. I'll miss you too, Tenten-chan, he said. As Tenten looked up at him, as the both of their eyes were just looking at each other, before her face started to move forward, and on instinct, his face started to move forward as well. As their lips were inch away from touching each other, as a cough snapped them out of it. I hope you have a good reason for being that close to my daughter. As Naruto shot back. Oh, you see, as he looked at Kaido, he sighed. You know what? Fine. I will just tell you what you want to hear, not like you're gonna listen to me anyways. I was just telling her I'm gonna be leaving on a 3-year training trip. And I was hoping that this would make Tenten admit her deep, loving feelings for me. After this, she would invite me upstairs and we would have hot, passionate sex, sir, said Naruto. Tenten was red from embarrassment and Kaido looked like he wanted to blow a gasket. As Kaido then walked off, as the man reached for several kunais and started throwing them at Naruto. I'll see you later, Tenten-chan, Naruto said as he jumped over the kunais. As he hopped on the ceiling and ran through the door. As Kaido stood there. Dad? Yes, Tenten. As he looked behind to see Tenten with a bunch of kunais in her hand. I hope you're ready to use as target practice for chasing him away. As Kaido gulped. The next day, as Naruto already said goodbye to all of his friends. As the gate guards were not Izumon Katetsu to his surprise. Come on, kid, it's time to go, Jiraiya said. As Naruto looked back at the village once more. As he ran up to catch up with Jiraiya before heading off. Time skip. Laughing could be heard all through the clearing that they were in. It's not funny, Eroseni, Naruto shouted. As Jiraiya got off the ground. I've been trying to get this done for 4 months now and I'm not getting anywhere, Naruto shouted. I guess you're right, Brat, it's not funny. It's hilarious, Jiraiya said, as he rolled on the ground. Keep on laughing, said Naruto. We will see who get the last laugh, as he was already plotting his revenge on Jiraiya for not helping him and just laughing. All he needed was some rope, a marker, some honey, and a banana. Yes, soon Jiraiya would regret laughing at Uzumaki Naruto. You know, you still haven't told me what this technique of yours is, said Jiraiya. I might be able to help if you tell me what you're trying to do. I'm working on a speed technique similar to the Sunshin, but this one is supposed to be entirely combat based. What I do is I channel yokai to the bottom of my feet. After that I expel it in short bursts that would propel me from short distances. So what's the problem then, Jiraiya asks. That's just it, Naruto said. There is the problem. The theory is completely sound. Yet for whatever reason when I go past 3 steps, my calf gets torn to shreds. And it takes 3 seconds to get the technique ready. And 3 seconds is too long in combat. No matter how hard he tried, no matter how much chakra he used, nothing seemed to change. Naruto-kun. Yes, said Naruto as he heard the Kyuubi's voice. It may have something to do with the fact that you're not using chakra but yokai. Because yokai is a lot more unstable than chakra is. It's most likely causing a fluctuation when you let it out in a burst. So what should I do then, said Naruto. I can't just give up on this technique. I am not saying that, but you need to get better yokai control, or adding the elements to your technique to counteract the yokai effect. You may be onto something, Naruto said. Thanks, Kyuubi-chan, he said. You're welcome, she said. Oi, kid, Jiraiya said. As Naruto blinked and saw Jiraiya waving a hand in front of his face. Oh, sorry about that, Eroseni, he said. Oh, having a dialogue with your inner vixen, asked Jiraiya with a grin. Can't you old perv, Naruto said. Jiraiya seemed to tease Naruto about all of the women that come into his life, but he always have a fondness of making fun of his relationship with the Kyuubi. As Naruto thought it was because Jiraiya liked the fact that having a hot woman inside your head was really good. I suggest you get that mind of yours out of the gutter, or I will let the Kyuubi use you as a chewing toy. Jiraiya simply laughed it off, knowing that was impossible. So, I take it that she was giving you some tips with this technique that you're working on. Yeah, she think my yokai is just too chaotic, Naruto said. Well, just keep working on it, Jiraiya said. I'm sure you'll get it eventually. Now get yourself ready to go. The next town is a few hours away, and I want to get there by nightfall. So you can find a tavern and hook up with some woman that you have to pay for, Eroseni Naruto asked. As Jiraiya glared at him, as Naruto simply walked over towards the tree where his shirt and his other items were, as he grabbed the towel and started to wipe the sweat off his body. As Naruto put on his necklace and put on his shirt. You know, said Naruto as he started to walk with Jiraiya, you never told me where we're heading next. I didn't. As Jiraiya simply smiled at him. So where we're going, Naruto asked. Oh, to the sand, said Jiraiya. The sand? Why exactly there, Naruto asked. To complete your wind training, of course, Jiraiya said that grin. You haven't completed all the exercise yet, have you? Nah, said Naruto. After a leaf cutting exercise, I heard that I have to cut a waterfall. But how am I going to do that? And where can I find a waterfall with a bridge on it? But I actually started to create my own exercise after I managed to cut a leaf. Oh, said Jiraiya, and what kind of exercises have you created? Oh, all kinds really. Anything I can think of that Wing can actually do. As Jiraiya waited for Naruto to say more, but Naruto didn't say anything. The next morning, seeing that they were already close, they made their way towards the desert as they cut through the desert and reached towards the hidden sand. As they arrived at the gates, as they were stopped by the guards, as Jiraiya gave them a letter with the Hokage's seal on it, as they were brought straight towards the Kazekage's tower. As soon as they went inside, Naruto saw Baki sitting at the decks. Yo, Baki-san, how are you? As Baki looked up with a smile. Nice to see you, Naruto-san, he said. But I didn't expect to see you so soon. As he looked over at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya-sama, he said, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Jiraiya gave the man an easy grin. Same to you, he said. I have a letter from the Hokage, he says. He gave Baki the seal. As Baki unrolled the seal and saw what was on it. I see, so the Hokage wants us to help Naruto-san here finish his Wing training. Well, that's the gist of it, said Jiraiya. As you know, Wing users are rare in Konoha. In fact, we only have the kid here, and Sarutobi Asuma. I see, he said. I should just find someone suited for the task. That will take an hour or so. Oh yeah, said Naruto. Now that Ersengi is here, you should make him take a look at Gaara's seal. He should be able to fix it so Gaara could sleep better than my seal could. Will you be willing to do that, Jiraiya-sama? Baki asked. Well, I suppose I can do that. Since I'm not a Wing user, I can't help the kid with his training. Alright, I'll take a look at the seal while Naruto begins his training. Right now, Gaara is on a mission, so you guys will have to wait until he come back. Why don't I have someone escort you to one of our hotels? That will be fine, said Jiraiya, as an envoy appeared, and escorted them outside. Time skip. As they were given a basic 2-bedroom hotel with a living and a kitchen room, and 2 bathrooms. As Jiraiya already went off to a bar or something, as Naruto's currently sitting on a couch, talking with the Kyuubi until he heard a knock on the door. As Naruto stood up and walked over to the door, opening to find. Hello, Naruto-kun, said Temari. Temari-chan, he said. As he looked at her for a moment and then realized. Are you the one they sent to help me with my Wing training, he asked. You got it, cutie, she said. Now come on, as she grabbed his arm. Time skip. How long do you plan to drag me around, Naruto asked. They had spent nearly 2 hours just walking around talking, and they just had lunch. Now they were making their way towards one of the districts that he has not seen before. It looked like some factory of some kind. Are you that tired of me, Naruto-kun, she asked in a sad tone. Of course not, Temari-chan, he said. I was just wondering if we were going to get to training, or if there was something specific that you want to do, other than just walking around, he asked. Oh, there's a lot of things that I would like us to do together, she said. But I figure I'll show you. We're going to train, she said. We're training here, Naruto said, as he looked over at the large buildings, as they were the same cylindrical base structure that the rest of the buildings were made of. But they were massive, 2 to 3 times larger than any of the other buildings in the hidden sand. As he wondered how the hell did he miss these on his last visit. Not here for say, said Temari, but this place lead to where we will. As they went in there, Naruto saw strange, large, cylinder tanks and pipes and all that. What is this place for, Naruto asked curiously. These buildings are where we gain 1/3 of our water supply, she said. Those machines over there have several large underground pipes that lead to the canals and pump water from them. You said only 1/3, so where do you get the rest, Naruto asked. Imported from other nations, of course, she said. Now come on, she said, as she started to walk further into the building. She led him over to a steel plate with a handle on it, an entrance of some kind. As Temari had him help her opening the entrance, as they climbed down and found themselves in a tunnel. It looked unnatural due to how the walls were smooth, as he wondered how were they made. These tunnels were cut out using wind chakra, said Temari. Our boast about having the best wind user in the world wasn't exaggerations, you know, as she led him through the tunnel. As they reached the end of the tunnel, Naruto gasped, as Temari smiled. Welcome to where you'll be training, Naruto-kun, she said. Time skip. 1 month later, unknown location. Are you positive of this information, Kabuto? Asked Orochimaru. The pain was getting unbearable. If he did not choose a body soon, he will die. Yes, it is. This information was given to us by Danzo, so I assume it's correct. I see. As Orochimaru knew that Danzo was not to be trusted, but at the moment, he had his uses, and Danzo had his uses for him as well. So Uzumaki has gone on a training trip with my old teammate Jiraiya. This may be the opportunity that we're looking for. With that blasted brat gone along with Jiraiya, and with Konoha Shinobi stretched so thin it would be easy. Shall I send the sound for to get him? Asked Kabuto. No. They still have a use for me that I plan on using right now. I want you to go get Kimimaro and Guren. Guren? Said Kabuto in surprise. Are you sure that is a wise idea, Orochimaru-sama? I will be going as well, so we both know her dislike of me. Orochimaru chuckles. He's also my second most loyal servant after you, Kabuto-kun. She will do as asked. Kabuto looked unsure, but he didn't bow. It shall be done, Orochimaru-sama. Time skip. It was just another day for Team 7 in Konoha as they just finished another set of D-rank missions, having finished their quota for D-rank mission for the day. Even after several months, there were still a lot of D-rank missions. And genuine teams like theirs, and 8 and 10, were the ones that were forced to take them. As Kakashi was face down in his book, know that all 4 D-rank missions are done. I'm giving you guys the day of the day. Kakashi Sensei, I was wondering, where's Naruto? I haven't seen him on our team since the Chunin exams. I know that you said that he was going to go on other missions, but it's been a long time now, she said. Kakashi figured that they would learn from someone else anyway. He left with Jiraiya-sama some time ago on a training trip. You won't see him until 3 years. Anyways, you guys are dismissed, Kakashi, as he vanished. Sasuke was seen in anger. As why was the dope all getting special training when he was stuck here doing all these garbage missions? What the hell was that about? He was the one who's supposed to be getting better missions and better training. Ever since he came on this damn team, the dope has always been outclassing him. Sasuke-kun, Sakura said, as she noticed Sasuke was clenching his fist tight, but he did not answer. Sasuke-kun, she said. What? He shouted at her. His Sharingan activated as it gave him a frightful and hateful appearance. Sakura stepped back in a bit of fear. I was just wondering if you were alright, she said. You seem, I'm fine, he said, as he turned and started to walk away. For once, she did not follow him and try to get a date. The look that he gave her, it was rather frightening. For the first time, she felt scared of him. As she slowly turned and made her way to her own house. What happened to you, Sasuke-kun, she thought. Time skip. As Sasuke made his way to his clan compound, he glared at everything. This was a reminder how his brother had killed everyone and he still doesn't have the power, the strength to revenge any of them. Every day he would look at this place and fuel his hatred. But he still doesn't. He still doesn't have the chance, the power, the strength to defeat Itachi. What the hell was he doing? It wasn't enough. It was like no matter what he did, he just won't get any stronger. As Sasuke went towards the kitchen to grab a bite to eat before getting back to his training. However, when he came back from his kitchen, he was surprised to see someone sitting right there in his house. Hello, Sasuke-kun. It's been a while since we last saw each other, said Kabuto. How the hell did you get in my house? Asked Sasuke. He wasn't sure what was going on, but he knew who this was. Kabuto. Oh, so you remember my name? I am so pleased to see that you don't forget me. You didn't answer the question, Sasuke says, his left hand reached into his kunai pouch. Something was off here. Do you still desire power? Because if you want, my master can give you power. Your master? Sasuke said, narrowing his eyes. If your master trained someone as weak as you, I doubt I would need them. Kabuto vanished and reappeared right beside Sasuke. Sasuke was surprised because he didn't even see him move. Was that pure speed? I assure you, I'm far better than I let others believe. However, if you don't want Orochimaru-sama to help you with their goals, to get strong enough to kill your brother. As Kabuto started to walk over to the house. Wait, Sasuke said, as Kabuto stopped. He can offer me the power I want. Of course, Kabuto said that smile. Orochimaru-sama has told me that he's willing to train you and give you all the power that Konoha has denied you. Why? Sasuke said. Who can say? I can't speak for Orochimaru-sama. Maybe you just remind him of himself. Or perhaps he wants your help, and he's willing to give you what you want so you can give him what he wants. Kabuto would not tell him that Orochimaru wanted to possess his body, but what he said was close to the truth anyways. Orochimaru did want something from him after all. Even though my cursed seal has been sealed, said Sasuke, as his hand went towards his neck. Yes, I heard about that, said Kabuto. You're fortunate that your curse seal is only in the first stage. Once we upgrade it to the stage 2 form, that other seal that is on it will be overpowered. I'll give you a few days to think about it. If you wish for the power that Orochimaru-sama will give you, come find me 2 miles outside of the North Gate in 1 week. As Sasuke watches the man disappear. Time skip. A week later, Sasuke had thought about everything. Surprisingly, it was harder than he thought. Every time he thought about taking up Kabuto's offer, he saw Team 7. Even if he refused to admit it to anyone, he had more fun on Team 7 than he had in many of his years. His time with Kakashi, Naruto and Sakura, it has been rather pleasant than he didn't want to really let on, as they had become something of a family to him. But what did he want, mostly? Did he want to stay here, a place where he had friends? A place where he had something close to family? Or did he want the power to avenge and crush Itachi? As he looked at the picture of Team 7 on his decks, as he stared there for a long minute, before placing it face down, he grabbed his backpack and left, because in the end, he was an Avenger. Time skip. Sasuke-kun. As Sakura looked up to see Sakura in front of him. "Why are you out here in the middle of the night?" he asked, as he started to walk past her. "This is the only exit in the village that is not guarded at night," Sakura said. "I knew if you were going to leave, all I would have to do is wait here," she said. "Sakura, go back to sleep," he said. As he started to walk off, she started to cry. "Why won't you say anything to me? Why?" she shouted. "Why are you always keeping quiet? Why won't you ever say a single word to me? I told you a long time ago I don't need your help. Do not try to look after me." Sakura looked down to the ground. "No matter what I do, you'll always hate me, won't you?" she asked. "You remember, don't you?" she said. Sasuke stopped moving, but he did not turn around. When we became Jenny in the day our 3-man team was assigned, as Sakura, after berating Naruto, she had went back to find Sasuke. "The first time we were here by ourselves, you were so mad at me," as she remembered that she berated Naruto right in front of Sasuke because he did not have any parents. Flashback. "Can you believe that idiot Naruto? He's always messing up things and causing us problems. It's because he wasn't raised right. It's because he didn't have parents to tell him right from wrong," she said. "That's why he's so selfish. He never have anyone to answer to. If I tried to do those things, I would be grounded for life. Without parents, it's the only possible outcome that one will become an idiot." "Alone," said Sasuke. "What?" she said. "Being scolded by parents is nothing. You cannot possibly compare it. You can never understand that emptiness." "What are you saying, Sasuke?" "You're annoying," Sasuke said, as he walked off. End of the flashback. Sasuke did remember that conversation. It was one time when he realized that Naruto might understand his pain. Not that he was going to make Sakura know that. "I don't know that," he said. "Yeah, I guess you're right," she said. "That was all in the past, huh? That's all when it began though. You, me, Naruto, and Kakashi Sensei. We did all sorts of missions. It was painful and difficult at some times, but I enjoy every single second of it. I know all about your past, Sasuke, but even if you get your revenge, it won't bring you any happiness. No one. It won't," she said. "I know that already," Sasuke said, "but I'm different from all of you. I cannot follow the same path as you guys. Up until recently, we have done everything as a group, but there are some things I can only accomplish by myself. Deep inside my heart, I have already decided on revenge. That is why I will never be like you or Naruto." As more tears started to leak from Sakura's eyes, "Do you really want to go back to being alone? You told me how painful it was to be all alone. Do you really want to go back to that? I know you're in pain, Sasuke. I may have friends and family, but if you were to leave, I will be just alone as you," she said. Sasuke did not look at her. In the end, she didn't matter. All he needed was enough power to get Itachi and kill him. "From here on out, we all begin new paths. I love you," she said. "If you were to stay with me, I'll make sure that you never regret a single moment of it. Because every day we will do something fun. You'll be happy, I swear. I'll do anything for you, so please just stay with me," she begged. "I will even help you get your revenge," she said. "Even though I don't know what I can do, I will try my best to do something. So please, just stay," she said. Sasuke turned towards her with a smirk on his face. "You really are annoying," he said, as he then turned and started to walk away. "If you leave, I'll scream," she said. Suddenly he vanished. "Sakura," as a voice was coming from behind her. "Thank you." As he said that, everything went black. Time skip. Naruto and 500 clones were standing on top of a bridge made of sandstones, as they all worked on cutting out shapes out of the waterfall. It had been over a month and some time since Naruto had been here. During the first 2 weeks, he managed to cut the waterfall in half. After that, his training would have been complete, but like always, Naruto was determined to take his elemental training to the next level. Doing the same exercise as he has done in leaf exercise, cutting the leaf in different shapes and sizes. For a moment, Naruto realized it was odd to see a waterfall in the desert, and much less than 10 waterfalls around him. He was in an underground cavern under the outskirts of the hidden sand. This place was fed by several rivers that had tunneled under the hidden sand. As you remember when Temari first showed him this, as he was amazed to see something like this in the middle of a desert. The waterfall he was on now was the largest one out of all of them. As him and the clone started channeling their chakra, as the water started to gain a shape. As he get the stream of wind chakra to ears he already cut. As it curved and bent and took the shape of the Konoha leaf symbol. As a big smile came on his face. As he wiped off the sweat and water that got on his face. When a voice spoke behind him. You know, it still amazed me seeing the way you take a simple exercise and run with it. What can I say, Temari-chan? I'm just awesome like that, he said. You know that you've been here for several hours, right? I think it's time you do something else, she said. You mean do something with you, he said. Temari blushed as Naruto chuckled. He had not just trained during the month, he and Temari went on many dates during his time here. And they had sparred quite often, as Naruto also sparred with Gaara. Speaking of Gaara, Jiraiya helped him with this Biju problem, as it was a seal similar to his, as it was a complete success. I suppose we can go somewhere, Naruto said, providing that your little brother doesn't go all, if you hurt my sister I'll bury you under 12 feet of sand. Yes, when the first time me and Gaara sparred, Gaara gave him another threat. He hasn't done that for a while, it will be fine, said Temari. Before anything else could said, a swirl of sand appeared in the middle of the both of them. As Gaara appeared, I hate to break up your flirting with each other, but Baki wants us at the Kazekage's tower. Both of them blushed the way he just said flirting. Honestly, the way he said something like that, it was just... As the both of them shook their head. Moments later, as the three of them entered the room, you want to see us, Baki-sensei, said Temari. As Naruto was in there as well, as Kankuro was in there as well. We have just received a message from Konoha, who's asked them to send backup to go after one of their own who has been captured, or leave on purpose. What? Said Naruto. You four to head to Konoha and assist Chunin, Naruto to retrieve Sasuke Uchiha. Timeskip as the group left Wind Country, as the Sand siblings had to, well, endure Naruto cursing, and he was cursing a lot. Naruto, you have been ranting and swearing for at least 4 hours now. Might I suggest that you focus on the mission, said Gaara, as the other two was a bit weirded out by the way Naruto's planning on torturing Sasuke when he got his hands on him. Sorry, Naruto said, I'm just so pissed off that you would ever think about doing something like this. Maybe he didn't, Temari said. He could have been kidnapped. Doubtful, Naruto said. While not as secure as it was, Konoha's security was pretty tight before I left. Sasuke is strong. It would have taken a lot of effort to capture him, and even if they came to fight him, people would have sensed and noticed a chakra flaring all around the village. I have a feeling that he left on his own accord. He has always been power hungry, and he wants enough power to destroy his brother Itachi, and he doesn't care how he gets it. While he has not seen most of his team since he became Chunin, he had spotted them around and saw Sasuke, well, glaring at him. And Sasuke, well, tried to spy on him multiple times when he was out training, but Naruto always lost him. So you think that this Sasuke kid is really betraying your village for an S-class traitor who shouldn't be trusted? Asked Kankuro. Yeah, said Naruto. How stupid can one kid get, said Kankuro. He doesn't honestly think that Orochimaru will grant him power, does he? Obviously he does, said Naruto. Quiet you two, said Gaara. I sense several presences up ahead. How many and where are they, said Naruto. I can't tell, I can only sense a presence. Vaguely. Naruto-kun, if you channel yokai to your eyes, you'll be able to see them. Really? Said Naruto. Yes, it's a unique ability on becoming half of what you are, she said. Since at least half your energy come from nature, you should be able to gain the ability to see and sense chakra. As Naruto started to channel yokai into his eyes as they changed into purple, as the others noticed and was slightly freaked out by it. Well, minus Gaara. Dude, what the hell happened to your eyes, Kankuro asked. Huh? What are you talking about, Naruto said. What's wrong with them? They're purple, Naruto-kun, said Temari, and they look a lot like fox eyes. Oh, don't worry about that, Naruto said. It's just an ability I have thanks to Kyuubi. As he saw people outlined in small blue dots, they were getting closer. 2 of those dots had a sickly purple color mixed in them. I see several figures up ahead. 4 of them are on our right, close to, if my memory serves right, the entrance of the Valley of the End. The other 3 are to the left, at least several miles away. Hey, Kyuubi-chan, is this some kind of bloodliner to ask? No, it's just a basic ability that I have that I pass on to you. It's just a basic ability to see chakra. Still, a useful skill to have, said Naruto. Indeed, said the Kyuubi. Gar, I want you to go and assist whoever is still left, Naruto said. You should be capable enough to handle any one of them. And these two would probably get in the way of your more destructive abilities. Gara nodded before going off. As he looked back at the others behind him, we're going in hard, so keep your senses up. I'll be going in first, since, no offense, I'm stronger than both of you, he said. While I engage the enemy, I want both of you to assess the situation, and if our comrades are wounded, I want you to apply first aid to them. Depending if they're deeply injured, one of you may need to escort them back to Konoha. The both of them nodded as Naruto smiled, as they increased their pace. Meanwhile, things were not going well for Shikamaru, or the ninjas that he had selected for this mission. From the moment he was given his orders to retrieve Sasuke before he can make to Orochimaru, he knew that his mission would end well. And his theory was right. As soon as they caught up with Sasuke, they were attacked by this weird kid that can use bones as weapons. Both Neji and Rock Lee had stayed behind to deal with the bone user, but since they haven't caught up yet, he figured the worst. To make matters worse, the moment they arrived in the clearing, they were attacked by this woman that can use strange crystal. So far, they had no luck in retrieving Sasuke, and he was certain that Sasuke was already in Orochimaru's clutches. And they will still have to kill this woman. She has set up some crystal barrier. It will only break if she died, or release the jutsu. In other words, the entire situation was troublesome. Him, Choji and Kiba has been fighting this woman for an hour now, as they hadn't had any luck on landing a scratch on her. As the woman switched herself with a crystal clone, and Choji got several shards stuck in as he tried to roll her over, as Choji lost consciousness from blood loss. Now they were on their last rope. Man, this mission has gone to hell, said Shikamaru, as he hadn't even think of anything that could beat her. As he looked over, as he was a big poof. When the smoke cleared, there was a massive two-headed white dog there. The beast then jumped and started spinning towards the woman, as she simply smirked. Crystal release. Crystal spears. As she slammed her hand on the ground and several spears made from crystals came out and shot up towards the dog. But the dog just smashed through all of them. She was forced to use a substitution to replace herself with a log, as it crushed where she just had been, gouging out a huge trench. As the creature then got back up. Crystal release. Spike. The giant dog jumped to the left as a large 50-foot spike shot out of the ground, but it was not fast enough to get entirely away unscathed. A large gash was on its leg from getting cut. Crystal shuriken. As the woman shoot a giant shuriken made of crystal, as the shuriken impaled the dog in the shoulder. Before it could even howl in pain, several more stabbed right into it, as the dog collapsed down, as it poofed away, revealing a bloody, beaten Kiba and Akamaru. The two looked like they had been through a meat grinder. Akamaru Kiba says he tried to move, but he could not. This is pathetic, the woman says. She started to walk over to the two, but before she could get to them, a large ball of white flames nearly incinerated her as she jumped away. As Shikamaru turned to see Naruto, Kankuro, and Temari. Star Wars Naruto said, I would tell you that we got lost on the road of life, but I'll be lying. Kitsunbai, said Naruto, as white flames burst on his arms. Gurren narrowed her eyes. She looked at Naruto. I recognize you, she said. Your name is Naruto Uzumaki, a B-rank ninja who caught Orochimaru's attention in Chunin exams. Great, I got some pedophile snake interest in me. That's not something good I like to hear. Gurren eye twitched, hearing the insult, but she shrugged it off. Orochimaru-sama told me if I were to ever see you, I must kill you and bring your corpse to him, so he can study it for the future. Sorry, but I have no interest of becoming a corpse to give to that pedophile. So why don't you be a good little girl and tell me where Sasuke is? If you do, I won't hurt you. He's long gone by now, she said. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already with Orochimaru-sama. Fine, I'll just kill you then and drag his ass back, said Naruto. You seem rather confident in yourself. I have to be, after all if I don't. Who else will? As a clone facing the existence and went over and picked up Kiba and Akamaru gently and brought them over back. As Naruto gave the clone the scroll, the medical supplies. As Temari and Kankuro went over, hey Shikamaru, can you give me any intel on her? We don't really have much, said Shikamaru, but I believe she has some kind of bloodline. Crystal release. As you can see, Shikamaru said, pointing the crystal dome that we're currently in. But for her skills, I will judge to say that she's some high-level Jonin, probably even near to Kakashi's level, if not better. Damn, Naruto said, but still have to give it a try though. Crystal release. Shurikens, wild dance, said Gurren. Naruto thrust his fist out as he fired off a burst of white flames along with wind, smashing them like they were nothing. Crystal spikes, said Gurren as Naruto shot to the left, dodging several spikes that came out of the ground. as he launched several shurikens of his own and went through one hand-in-hand signs. Shuriken clone jutsu, he said, as they multiply in the hundreds. As Naruto thrust out his other palm, releasing a burst of wind, enhancing the speed of the projectiles. Crystal release. Wall of crystal, she said, as a wall of crystals shot out from the ground, blocking every single one of them. You know, that's a pretty powerful ability you have, Naruto said. Yes, it is, and there's no way you're getting past my bloodline. It's called Shotan, she said. I can create crystals that are harder than diamonds combining earth and lightning. It's why I'm one of Orochimaru's most powerful ninjas. I'm rather surprised he's taking such an interest in you. I mean, we all know that he has a thing for little boys. I guess that's why Kabuto is his right-hand man, not you. How dare you insult Orochimaru-sama, she said. Take this! Crystal release. Crushing pillar. A massive pillar smashed into the ground as Naruto had to jump away as the earth was blown apart, sending debris everywhere. As she launched another pillar at him, trying to turn him to a bloody stain on the ground. As the crystal came crashing down, but Naruto substituted himself already, as he was now on her left, rushing towards her. She fired off several more shurikens towards him, but Naruto's eyes turned purple as he could see the chakra. He could see them clearly as he dodged and weaved right through them. As he reared his fist back, Kitsunbai, he said, as his hand became covered in white flames. As he launched his fist forward, unleashing the powerful white flames. As a massive blast trench of pure flames erupted from his hand. As the entire clearing in front of him was torn to pieces, ripped and burned. Naruto then felt a slight shift in the air as he ducked and rolled, dodging a crystal blade that nearly took off his head. As Gurren was fine, as she now had crystal blades on her wrists. Crystal release. Twin crystal blade, she said. Naruto flicked his hand and unsealed his katana. I suppose if you're going to use some form of blades, I shall as well, he said. As the both of them narrowed their eyes at each other, before dashing off. But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share this to all of your friends in social media platform. And stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. I hope you guys enjoyed each and every one of them. And yeah, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, remember to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Animaking family. And thank you for all of your help and support. But for now, I'm Motivir. See you guys later. Peace.